Since we were coming up on Father's Day weekend, I decided to take the kids to the mall where there is a beautiful hobby shop. It's called Hobbies. I was there about 2 months ago and I noticed they had a whole lot of boats that aren't even made or in stock anymore. The old red Blackjack 24, the Velez, so on and so forth. So I decided I was going to purchase a boat from this hobby shop and we were going to give it away. Now, as much as I would love to review this boat and run this boat and have fun with this boat, I think it's going to be more enjoyable to give it to somebody ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It's a very popular boat, and I figured for someone's very first ever RC boat, this is a really good choice. They could run it on 4S or 6S. If you notice the price here, $439. Luckily, the guy at Hobbies in Raleigh honored the price that Proboat has for their Father's Day sale. So right now they have the boat literally $100 off. So that's what we got it for. He dropped it all the way down to, I believe it was either $339 or $349 by the time it was all said and done. So here's the charger. It's just a typical, Spektrum. I think it goes up to 5 amps. You can charge 2 through 4S on this, and it already has the EC3 or EC5 connector, so we're good to go there. And if he chooses to run the Spektrum smart batteries, which I opted to actually buy some smart batteries, but they wanted, I think, $82 for a single individual battery. The only reason I like that is because it would make the little illuminator on the controller light up. So we're not going to get that feature, but hopefully the parameters in the ESC are set up to where it'll power cut. And then once, I teach him power cut means bring it in, and then it'll be good. I'm sure there'll be a learning curve, new boat, new boater, stuff like that. And we don't want to cook a battery. So we're going to try to set him up with some really good packs and teach him, 4 or 5 minutes of runtime. That's all you're going to get if you run it on 100%. So I'm going to try to talk to him about leaving it on 75% to where he'll get a little bit more runtime. And then if he wants somebody younger to run it, you can just flip the remote over to, say, 50%, hand it to, yet again, a younger person, 10, 11, 12 years old, and then they can run the SonicWake at 50% speed, 50% power, less likelihood of ruining anything, and you get a lot more runtime if you run it that low. So enough talking about all of this. Let's go ahead and open it up. Now I have to wrap all this back up and make it look brand new. I'm not going to run it, but I am going to open it all up, and I'm going to pull the cable out, grease the cable, make sure the motor alignment and the collet and all that is set right. I'm going to put another crush washer on the rear strut drive. I'm going to go ahead and put some batteries in this. Let's see, is it a 2 or a 3? I wish it was the other one. I wish it had the one like the Impulse where you could turn it down to 50%. That's a little... Oh, it does. It does. It has it right here on the back. See if I can turn the light on for you. Yep, it has the limiting switch here on the back, so that's cool. But I'm going to make it to where it's 100% ready to go. I don't want them to have any issues with it whatsoever. So you as the viewer, if you're getting a brand new boat, these are the things that theoretically you should do to your model as soon as you get it. Now they do provide you with some AA's. We're not going to use these. We're just going to go ahead and put some Duracell in there. Okay, we'll open that up. That looks good. Got to remember how all this goes back in so I can wrap it all back up in the next 30 minutes. It shouldn't take me but about 15 minutes to go through this boat top to bottom. And then what we have to do is we got to go get my soldering iron, and we have to solder new connectors on my old batteries. gorgeous. A new model is so much fun. This will be the first time I'm actually giving something away to somebody. Oh, so cool. Y'all give me a thumbs up in the comment if y'all think this is gorgeous. Wow. Yeah, we need to adjust the trim tabs too. I love the fact that they give you a rudder sleeve. That's cool. That way you don't get cut. Got a little bit of play in that rudder, but for what it is in a beginner model and stuff like that. Ooh, I don't like how the cooling tubes were bent. They got some kinkage in them. If necessary, if I have some, I may swap that over to a different style cooling tube if I can't get the kink out of it. It's kinked right here. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera. Well, I've since pulled it out a little bit. Alright, let's take the plate here, set the plate down. Sweet. Let's go ahead and do a 360. I love the white. The white's going to show up really, really well on the water. Let's go ahead and open it up. Don't mind the fan in the background. That's just my charger going. I've got to decharge some of my other packs. When we went and ran with the nursing home group, I had charged 16 batteries and I only used like 6 or 8 of them. Check it out. That is super cool. Gorgeous, man. Gorgeous. I really thought this boat would have came with the 160 Firma in it, but it only comes with the 120. Now, that should be perfectly fine with what we're doing here. And the fact that the boat comes with a dual pickup rudder, which is cool. So you're going to get really good cooling off the rip. There's really not a need for any additional accessories, honestly, except the servo. You know, I know those Proboat servos like this typically only last like 5 to 10 runs and then they die. So we're just going to leave the factory servo in there until something happens to it, and then if or when something happens to it, we'll address it then. Now, this is something I didn't expect. We get a nice stainless steel prop. I really thought it would have been a plastic prop. This looks to be like the same prop that came on the Impulse. It's like a 4117. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. But we need to take this off. Oh, check that out. They even have double nuts on it. What? Double nutted. That's crazy. They do have a nice gap there, so we're good there. They do have a plastic washer. We may add another one. But we're going to go ahead, level the trim tabs up, and then we'll put this one down on this side a half a turn down, and we'll leave this one level. We'll get our turn fins down, trim tabs set, strut set neutral, and pull the cable out, grease it, all that good stuff. And I'm going to go ahead now and loosen the collet and slide the cable out just to make sure that the motor alignment is perfect. Because on my Impulse, and a lot of people's Impulses, when you pulled it out of the box from the factory and you slide the cable out, the motor and the cable were like offset by like maybe a third of a cable, if that makes sense. So instead of it being like this, it was like this. And then that puts a lot of bind in your driveline itself. So we don't want any of that. That'll cause unnecessary heat and burn the liner and all that stuff. So I'm just checking out, wondering what this cooling line goes to, honestly. But this is cool, y'all. This is cool. All right, I'm going to jump into it, and I'll show you what we do. So I took my little 10 mil wrenches here, loosen the collet. So basically you just hold this one, unspin that until she's loose. You can spin it by your finger, and then grab the cable here, good Lord, and pull it out. That's tight. That's a really, really tight drive line. Okay, look at that. All right, let's compare this to my other flex cables. Because maybe, just maybe, right here. Let's compare this. So my other flex cable for the Impulse, see how the shaft here is longer? And then the SonicWake's is shorter. They're both relatively the same length, The SonicWake is like maybe 2 mil shorter, but the threads come to the same point. But the metal shaft on it, the hard shaft, is a shorter hard shaft. So unfortunately, I can't swap cables in the future. This would probably be a good cable to put in the Impulse, since the Impulse's hard shaft is so long. I had a problem with it, B had a problem with it, and if you switch to one that has a shorter hard shaft on it, I don't think it would break right here as frequently. But I literally had that same problem. That's when I converted to a different shaft. Yeah, that is tight. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this off, and I've got some 800 and some 1500 grit sandpaper. We're going to go ahead and smooth this shaft up a little bit in the drill to where it doesn't cause so much resistance right here in the strut. I know that it's new, but it already has oil on it, and it's still, once you get right there, really, man, I'm trying to push it in. Yeah. Now you can't get it out. So we're going to go ahead and do a little massaging on this. Alright, I can't get the drive dog off, so we're going to go ahead and put a little heat on it. They have it on there super duper tight. We're going to take our Allen wrench. Boop, just like that. It literally stripped it a second ago when I tried to do it. It wouldn't come off. Now it's super duper hot, so you don't want to burn yourself. Trying to put the grub screw back in just one bite. Yeah, you can tell they had Loctite on it from the factory, so that's good. But they also Loctited it on the shaft, so I can't get that off either. So we're going to keep our little grub screw on our Allen there. We're going to continue to heat this, and we'll grab it with a pair of channel locks and pull it off. You don't want to scar the shaft at all. I'm going to drop a little drop of oil down in there. Should help lube it up a little. Okay. Go ahead and grab that. Woo! She's hot. Yeah, she's on there. Let's go ahead and put the nuts back on. That'll give me something to bite it with. There it goes. That was tight. That was really tight. Okay. That piece is probably still going to be warm. Deal. Alright. Now we can put it in a drill, and we can smooth this up a little. Alright, so we got our nuts on there. Slide that in the drill chuck. Tighten it down. We don't need to spin this fast because we only need to kind of work on this area right here. And this isn't totally necessary. I think it's just good. I've done this a couple times on a couple of my cables that came in that were too tight. And just smooth them down a little bit. So we've got some 400 here, a piece of 400, and then we've got some 2000. So we're just gonna doesn't take much. Don't want to go too fast because you'll end up bending the cable. You don't want to bend the cable. This will also help those like tighter props. Sometimes you'll get a prop that's too tight and won't go on the shaft. Alright, switch over here. Actually, we're going to wipe it off. Reverse. There we go, got a little bit of stuff. Put the 2000 on it. Ah, it spun the nuts off. There we go. Alright, like I said, it's not necessary. We're just covering all our bases. Giving a boat to somebody who doesn't know the hobby, you don't want them to have any troubles whatsoever. Okay. Now let's see if the drive dog slides on easier now. Oh yeah, beautifully. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted that to spin. There's no play in it side to side, but it's not so lock solid that you can't get it off. Okay. So we're done with the cable. All we have to do now is clean it. So I'll do it, put a little oil on it. Okay. Go ahead, wipe it down, wipe it. Wipe it down, wipe it. Ah, I'm getting it all over me. Okay. That's good. Okay, yeah. Now she's definitely clean. So are my hands. Alright, now that we've got that done, let's go ahead. Let's do our due diligence here. So all you needed was just a little bit. And this stuff is thin, so it's kind of runny, you know. So it's going to actually go down on the drive dog itself. It'll lock the drive dog on the cable, on the shaft. You have about 30 to 45 seconds of work time with it before it's already done its job. So that's why it's really cool for out in the field. You don't have to give it time enough to dry. It's dry like that. So that's good. We need to test the balance of the prop, and I may give him the prop that I already have that I did for the impulse because that's already balanced. So we'll throw this on the balancer. Wow, look at that. Okay. Now that we've gotten that done, we're going to go ahead and put our washer back on. Okay, we're good there. Let's just slide it in here. Oh, it slides so much better now. It's all the way. All the way, so much better. Okay, let's check motor alignment. See if y'all can see that. It looks kind of to me like the cable is a little bit to the right. May not show up on video like that, but it does. It does kind of look to the right just a smidge. And it's hard to go in to the collet. Alright, I'm going to loosen the motor. I'm going to loosen those 4 screws down there. And I'm going to see if I can find a spot. Yeah, it is. It's catching right on this side. So good thing that we're checking motor alignment. We're going to loosen the screws up until we can slide this cable in, and it slides in easy. Alright, so see what we're dealing with here? Alright, so if I push it this way, it doesn't go in, right? But if we push it this way, it goes in easier. So the motor needs to slide this direction. Oh, God. Yeah, that feels better. Not totally satisfied with it, honestly. It's like the back needs to come up some, but I think it's designed that way. Good deal. Alright, so we've checked motor alignment. I'm happy with it. Let's go ahead. We're going to put some grease in the rear strut. 1 pump, 2 pump, 2 pump chump. The washer on there. Grease on the cable. I'll go ahead and slide this in. You don't want any on the tip of your cable because you don't want to shove grease into your collet. So if you can see down in here, there's like a big glob of grease right there on the tip of the cable. See that big glob of grease right there? So what we're going to do, we're going to tighten this collet just a little bit, and we're going to slide a paper towel in front of it, and we're going to capture that grease in the paper towel before we shove it into the collet, because we don't want the grease in there. Okay, we're going to push it into it like so. We're going to pinch it and squeeze, and we're going to twist the cable just a little, pull it back out. See all the grease we got? All that was going to go in the collet. We don't want that in the collet, right? So we're going to do it again. Slide it right there in front of it. Put the cable there. Twist it. Pinch it with our finger. And we got more grease off. So we're good now. Let's go ahead and slide it in. See how good it goes in. Oh, I've got the collet tight. Okay. Good, slide it in. Oh yeah, butter smooth. Butter smooth. Now we need to put a little gap here. All right, that's a good enough gap, I would say. Now we can go ahead and tighten our collet back. Use our finger, spin that until the motor spins. All right, we're good. Now you don't have to crank down on this like crazy tight, but you do want it good and tight. If you had bigger wrenches than I had, like see how small these are? If you had like big, like 5-inch or 8-inch long wrenches for like automotive work, you don't have to be so aggressive. All right, that's good and tight. Okay, so we've got the drive line taken care of. I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and throw the prop on the balancer and see how unbalanced it is from the factory. My impulse was worse than that. Damn, I'm gonna say that's pretty much balanced. Yeah, that's nice. Holy crap. I wind it up, spins the other way. That's nice. Awesome. So what we'll do, we'll run this prop. I mean, it's 95% of the way balanced, so it's pretty much good on my, in my book. And then we do have a couple other props we're going to give with them. I'm going to just give them like a regular old 4514 aluminum. That way, but I love the stainless steel because you can kind of hit stuff and it not be so detrimental and just flat out obliterate the prop. That was one thing Traxxas never did. Traxxas never gave metal props with their boats, and they should. I think all boats should come with either an aluminum prop or a stainless steel prop. Plastic props are cool for really small models like 24 inches and under, but once you get to a bigger boat, it should really just come with a metal prop from the factory. Boom. Alright, so we're done. We've covered the cable, we've covered the prop, we've covered the grease and made everything smooth. Drop. Wow, that motor's got hellacious magnetism. This boat's going to be a ripper. Alright, so I think we've covered all that. That's good. Now we need to just simply cover the trim tabs and the turn fins, and the boat, in my opinion, will be pretty much set and ready to go. Only thing I got to do is just pop some remote, or some batteries in the remote, you know what I'm saying? And then we can go ahead and put this back in the bag. Got some fingerprints. Don't want no smudges. Don't want it even looking like I pulled it out of the bag. But we want him to have an excellent experience, so that's why we're doing this. And I want you as the viewer to also have an excellent experience, to where if you buy a boat and you need to adjust things, this is kind of what I do when I get a new boat. Alright. So now we're going to check strut angle. So we're going to use this little digital caliper here. We're going to put it on the boat. Okay. Doesn't matter really what angle the boat's sitting at. Right now it's at 4.5 degree angle. We're going to zero it out at this angle. Then we're going to set it on the strut. And let's see. So right now it is a 1/2 degree negative strut angle. I'm gonna go ahead and lower it until we get a perfect 0 on the strut angle. I think what it is it's a 1/2 degree negative, so that kind of gives the cable a little bit more of a straighter run. When you start to bend these, it puts more load on the cable right in this area to get the flex cable to flex like that. So we're gonna lower it until it's just straight up 0. All right, so I adjusted it. Let's see what we're at now. Back at 0. Yep. Perfect. Okay, now we need to do the trim tabs. So we'll go over here. Okay, 0. Whoa, 4.5 degrees. That's considerable. So let's go ahead and lower that down. Maybe make it 1 degree. Let's see this one here. Okay. This one's also 4 degrees negative. So we're going to go ahead and lower them, or raise them up to where they're not so much down. Now I've got both trim tabs set. Typically it pulls down on the side where the rudder is, so that's the side you're going to want to level it up more. So you see what I did here? I'm just right there on the edge, right? So it just catches it right there. Alright, so that side pretty much is dead nuts level. This side over here, that right there is where it starts to hang. So I've got this one angled up just a little. So we probably got like 1 degree on this side. Let's see if we can calibrate it. Here we go, 0. 1.4. So not bad. And we'll come over here to this side. Get it 0. Alright, 0. Come on. Alright, 0. We've got to do it like that because there's a step. Alright, so we're 0 on this one. And we're 1.4 on this one. Golden. Very happy with that. Okay, so I think we're good. Don't really need to adjust the turn fins. I think the turn fins are fine. Got good battery straps. Doesn't look like I need to make any changes there. So I think we're flawless. Let's see. Battery stuff is good. The cooling stuff is good. I may put a spring around this so this doesn't kink. I think that'll be a good addition. Alright. Let's do... Alright, that's probably good. Doesn't look like that's on there all the way, does it? Alright, yeah. Alright, we're good. Now we got the boat completely done. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a 4216 and a 4214 3-blade prop and a little prop spacer. That way they can play around with props. This is, I believe, a 4117, and these are going to be a little bit different. So different characteristics, but something for them to play with, and they're CNC aluminum, so easy enough, balanced, ready to go. Well, I went ahead and put a little bit of grease on each one of these little screws down inside these. That way they thread on a little bit easier. That way you can't cross thread them as easy. Put a little bit of oil on the ball and socket and the rudder pin. And I put this spring here to where it won't kink that water line. Everything else looks to be okay. I got the kink out of this one just by squeezing on it. I think it just had a funny thing sitting in the packaging, you know what I'm saying? And we tightened this up a little bit, and I learned that inside of the bag they give you a tub of shaft grease and they give you some additional breakaway screws in there, so he'll be good to go there. Now went ahead and shortened the little antenna tube to where that's good. I don't know if I should zip tie these together, but it's part of the hobby. We'll let them learn. Okay, all the motor. Let's check, make sure all those are tight. Okay, all those are snug. Now we can go ahead and put this on. And the next thing we're going to work on are the batteries. We got to go ahead, take off my QS8s and put back on these EC5s. Oh yeah. Sweet. That's a beautiful looking boat, y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know. Is that a beautiful looking boat? I think so. Probably one of the best ready to run options from Proboat. Alright, well, I had a frustrating debacle with all of my soldering crap. You can literally see the mess I've created. But this is what I like to use for my QS8s to get them desoldered, and literally it broke in half on me. And like, it's scalding hot and it all broke, so I had to go get my new Weller soldering iron, which actually worked really well. But the dilemma here is that the Gens Ace batteries have an 8 gauge wire and the SMC 150s have a 10 gauge. So these won't fit over the 8 gauge wire. So I couldn't solder them up. I tried, but it just wouldn't work. I've already, you know, whatever. So I'm going to go a different route. I'm just going to give them the 5200s and I'm going to give them the 6500 SMC packs. It'll just make it easier. And then what I opted to do was just build some jumpers. It was easier. I had some Castle number 10 wire and we just built some jumpers. So hopefully that will work. And then you can plug that into the charger and, you know, all as well. But I really wanted to swap the batteries over to EC5s. I just felt like it would make it easier, but I can't do it. All right, well, we got her all back in the box, and I've got the Spektrum charger here. I've got the remote back in here full of batteries. Got the instruction booklet here with the grease and the excess stuff. I've got some SMC packs down in here, charging cable and jumper wires. I think we're pretty much good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and slide that back there. I'm just not gonna put the centerpiece in. And then now I can slide the top back on. Yeah, baby. Ooh-wee. Nice. All right. I've been a little frustrated over the last, I don't know, hour with the whole soldering debacle. But now that it's back together, I feel a little bit better. So I'm gonna wait until my other batteries are charged, and that way when we take it to them today, it'll have a fully charged set of batteries and a decharged set. So one that's not charged, that way I can show them how to run the charger to charge a battery, what voltage for storage, all that good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead, wait for the batteries to charge, and then we're gonna tape it up and we'll take it to them. All right, so we just opened it up. I kind of went over everything with them. We've got the 5200 SMC packs in there right now. Showed them the props, and right now we've got a 6500 right there, and I've got the other one over here charging on the charger. Went ahead and talked with them about how to charge it, balance it, store it, max charge, you know, low voltage. Don't want to let the battery get below 3.6, stuff like that. And then to charge it and store it around 3.8, just odd and end things there. But that's the charger we're gonna give them. It's hot out here. The thing's getting warm, so you can't really hurt it. It only goes up to 5 amps. Only will go up to a 4S pack, so these will be perfect. Perfect. It's got 4 batteries with it. It'll be ready to go. Ready to go. So next thing we're gonna do, once the batteries are done charging, we're gonna take it out to the lake and let them play with it. We're all loaded up and ready to roll. I'm excited. I'm gonna take it down to the lake. I got a brand new golf cart. Lithium powered golf cart too. It's crazy. It's got 2 LiPo batteries. Awesome.
Oh, that's a nice boat.
Oh yeah.
Was this thing brand new when you bought it?
Yes. Yeah. Okie dokie. I'm gonna just take it like so. I'm gonna give her a little toss in the water. And she's all yours. When you drive it, just don't drive like full speed close to the dock, because that's when you mess up and you hit the dock. Yeah. So you get the used to it and the hang of it and stuff like that.
Big old rooster tail.
Yeah. Reverse is not really something you want to use on a boat.
Yeah.
Because it spins the cable in the wrong direction. But it's usable. There you go. Let it get on plane. Yep, keep it on plane, then turn. It'll always turn to the right better than it'll turn to the left.
Yeah. So that's where the clock is.
Yep. You don't have to let off the throttle like 100% when you go in the corner, but you can dive it down to about half. That way it doesn't get up off a plane.
Yeah.
If you hear it starving every time you try to do that, and it starves to get it cavitating is what it's doing. Right there, it's cavitating. And it's even crazy fast on 75%.
Yeah, it is. It's like low.
Nutty fast.
Yeah. How far you think you'll go before I lose range?
Oh, you could probably go all the way over there to the other side. There's supposed to be like 1,000-foot range. There's a there's a buoy there.
Yeah.
I hate buoys on the lake.
Yeah. Why do they have right there, Doc?
It's for sailboats.
Sailboats?
Yep. Sailboats have deep scags on them, so they have to be out far enough. Go ahead, turn around and bring it to the dock nice and slow. I want to pull it up here and just kind of put my hand on the top of it and make sure, yeah, I want to make sure that we got proper cooling and all that stuff. That's good. It'll float itself on there. Absolutely. All right, yep. No heat, so we're good. All right, let's flip it over and let's watch it do its thing. Just let it roll.
Fill up with water.
Yeah, just wait. It's pointing the wrong direction right now.
Yeah.
All right, try to turn it, yeah. There you go, you got it, keep going. You don't have to nail it, just go forward nice and slow. And now you can get on with it. All the water comes out the back and then it's good to go. Boats are an absolute blast.
Yeah. A whole lot funner than cars.
And if you take care of them, they'll always look pretty.
Yeah. Hopefully just died down right there.
Did it? Did it die? Okay, so that's battery.
Yeah.
All right, so that's perfect. We got about 5 minutes of runtime out of it. Those are the smallest packs they make. Those are 5,000s. I've got some really big ones that are like 10 and 12,000.
Yeah.
But 5,000s will give you about 4 minutes of runtime, and the 6,500s I got might give you about 5 minutes. But just like you did right there, as soon as you felt it die, it's exactly when you bring it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now let's see. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. I guess once this thing hits low voltage cutoff, you only get one attempt at it. Yeah. It did. Maybe do I have that on? Yeah, I have that on. Huh. Okay. Maybe that's just how it is. Totally new model to me, so I don't know, you know. Almost acts like a damn connection issue on one of my jumper wires. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't have that plugged in all the way. Yep. I didn't have the QS8 plugged in all the way. I was a doofus.
Now you think if you hit the gas will run?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just didn't have that plugged in all the way. It was my mistake. But still, we ran it for 5 minutes, right? And we don't have the ability to check voltage because you don't have a battery tester. Yeah. So we ran it enough, and just that up and down, bouncing around, you know, fun running, we'll still say that these batteries are good. We don't need to use them anymore. We'll go ahead and swap over to the 6500s, and we'll let you run it on 100%. Go ahead and pick it up and set it in the water however you want to do it. You can toss it in the water or gently put the nose in, or, yep, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
What percent's it on? 100? Ooh.
Yeah.
They kind of had a little bit more go off the start.
Oh, yeah. I've got the batteries moved forward to where it gives you a little more nose weight. It should, yeah, it should handle a lot better. Yeah. So before you punch it, get it up on plane to where it's not going wah! To try to get it. Get you going about 20 miles an hour, and then you can give it full throttle. Yeah. But boats are best not to smash the throttle wide open. It's best to slowly get to full speed in about 2 to 3 seconds. Full trigger, you know what I'm saying? Not just smack it wide open. Yep. And you see how it's kind of dancing a little bit on top of the water? All that stuff on the back of the boat, those fins, those are what we have to adjust to get the boat to settle down at such a high speed.
Yeah.
So let it get up on plane.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still running pretty dry. I got the trim tabs pretty neutral on the back, but I probably need to go down with them a little bit. All right, nail it. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. Awesome, man. Oh, that was a spectacular crash. That was a spectacular crash. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. Awesome. So in situations like that, okay, if you try to drive it and you notice something ain't acting right and it won't come to you, then that means a wire has either come desoldered or unplugged due to the crash. The batteries have moved around or something like that, and you need to go get it. Yeah. You know? So, whenever you have a crash, stuff goes flying around, you just be mindful of it in your head. So see how 100% is almost like insanely... It's just hard to drive it at 100%. Yeah. And the battery doesn't last as long. But it's really something you have to drive. Yeah. It's not just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. No, you have to drive it. It is insanely fast. Yeah, when they jump up out of the water, you don't want that. You don't want the prop coming out of the water back in, out of the water back in, because that's loading and unloading the system. It's like doing a burnout on your four-wheeler and having it hop at the same time. You'll snap an axle. Yeah. The same thing can happen to this. You can snap the axle. They call it a flex cable. He's running really good.
Alrighty. You want me to zoom in on the boat?
No, just leave it on one.
Alrighty.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to drive out here and make kind of a dog leg. 75% throttle right there. Definitely need to lower the trim tabs a little.
Just to do out the water?
Yeah. Alright. I've got the rudder turned down to 50%. I'm going to go ahead and turn the rudder up to 75% so it'll turn better. Alright, we are. See if it'll turn better. Oh yeah. Because it was taking a wide angle to make it turn. Oh yeah. Need to go down on the rear trim tabs about 1 millimeter each, and I think that'll keep the nose down. That's enough for those packs. We ran them for about 3 minutes. I ran them for about 1.
Yeah.
Don't want to over discharge. So far we haven't had the battery shut off. I think all we've had is battery come disconnected.
Yeah. That's a cool boat. That's a cool boat. I tried really hard to solder on the connector straight to the battery, and I should have been able to do that in about 20 minutes, and I was an hour and a half into it, and it still didn't work. So I was like, screw it, I'm just making jumpers. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. We'll put our hand on the motor. I use a temp gun normally to check the temperature of the motor, but that's not something that really is a necessity. Yeah.
You don't want, see the wires are hot because I was running it on 100%.
Yeah.
The motor is fine. The ESC is probably 135 degrees, but that's what I mean about running it at 100%. Everything gets really, really hot at 100%.
Yeah.
So you can have fun with it on 75% and hand it to somebody and it not be insanely out of control. You know. All right, now that we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead, pull our strap loose. Pull this strap loose. Go ahead and disconnect it. We'll disconnect it. Yeah, that one's good. That one there needs some love. Don't understand. And those are good. We'll just leave them in there. Leave them strapped down. We'll take them back to the garage and we'll check battery voltage.
Cool.
Now you see why I have a kayak.
Yeah, swimming out there was rough.
Yeah, you're not supposed to swim after an RC boat.
Yeah.
The water's 86 degrees.
It's nice.
It's not very deep, so. Cool. Well, we finally made it back home. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. It was really, really long. But I figured since this channel's slowly getting traction, what we're gonna do is we'll start doing giveaways at every kind of like mini milestone for the channel. So for right now, what I'm gonna do is every 1,000 subscribers I get from here on out, I'm gonna do a giveaway. Whether it's 1 battery or 2 batteries, whether it's a charger or whether it's a boat. I figure, you know, when the channel hits like 10,000 subs, we will give away a brand new free boat. Whatever is popular at the time, and stuff like that. And as far as like giving away batteries, for right now, I'll probably give away a used set of SMC packs. Now, I'm not going to give away a crappy set. Like, you just saw, I gave away 2 sets. What was it, the 5200s and the 6500s? I think I had 7 charge cycles on the 6500s and 11 on the 5200s. So they're not even hurt, you know. But quality packs are quality packs regardless of if they've got 2 or 3 runs on them. I personally have like 75 sets of lipos, or 75 lipos altogether, including the small ones. I just don't need that many. So it's a way for me to give away on the channel to those who don't have, and, you know, promote my channel, so on and so forth. But if you want to be entered to win any possible giveaway in the future, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to give the videos a thumbs up, and you have to comment. But when that time comes, I will promote a giveaway as we climb to 3, 4, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever the case may be, as far as this channel grows. But it was Father's Day. I decided my brother had no desire to get an RC boat, so I kind of gave it to him for Father's Day, but it was really for his boys. So that's why we went down to the lake, and I kind of taught my nephew everything about it. And I've been kind of talking to him back and forth. I told him, check out Big B, because Big B's got, I think, 30 plus videos on that SonicWake V2, and there's no sense in me reviewing it. I did basically an in-depth unboxing and unopening of a brand new boat, to where if anybody buys a new model, you know, that's just what I do when I get a new model. I've learned the hard way that sometimes things aren't lined up, and you need to familiarize yourself with a model. But hopefully you enjoyed that video. It was fun. He's excited about the boat. So drop a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. So shout out to Hobbies for honoring that price. That was awesome. That was awesome. This saved me $100, you know. And my brother lives on a 36-acre pond. So a couple of my videos here have been at that 36-acre pond, which is the best place to run a boat. It's just kind of far for me to pack all my stuff up and go that direction versus the pond you typically see me at. But I figure since he's got such a nice spot to run, might as well have a boat. Because when we ran there 2 months ago, both the kids showed a lot of interest in it. So that's been my plan all along. So thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.